Good day to all. The topic we are going to see today is Bharatiya Act 45 of 2023. So, in this topic, we'll see the introduction, chapters, and classes involved. Introduction: the Bharatiya 2023 is the official criminal code of India, and it replaces the IPC, the Indian Penal Code. So, earlier in the previous videos, we have seen the tort versus crime, the distinction between tort versus crime. In tort, we don't have any codified law, but in case of crime, we have a code which is called as the Criminal Code of India. We are replacing this Indian IPC code with Bharatiyanyayasanhita. So it came into effect on 1st July 2024. Actually, the second bill was passed and the first bill was withdrawn initially in the Lok Sabha. So we'll see the introduction of the bill. So on 11th August 2023, Shri Amit Shah, Minister of Home Affairs, he introduced the bill in the Lok Sabha. On 12th December 2023, the initial bill was withdrawn. Again, in the second session, the BNS bill was introduced in Lok Sabha. On 20th December 2023, the second bill was passed. On 21st December 2023, the bill was introduced in the Rajya Sabha and it also got passed in the Sabha, and it got assent from the President. Assent means the expression of approval or agreement, or we can say that it is an official agreement or sanction. Okay, so it got approved from the President of India on 25th December 2023, and it came into effect on July 1st, 2024. So now the changes which are involved in the BNS. Okay, in BNS we have added 20 offences which has been added, and 19 provisions in the IPC have been dropped. The repealed IPC have been dropped. The imprisonment, the term of imprisonment for 33 offences has been increased, and fines has been increased for 83 offences, and the mandatory minimum punishment has been introduced for 23 offences. Okay, and community service has been introduced for 6 offences, and these are the offences which has been taken from the IPC. Okay, for example, the offences against the body. The BNS retains the provisions of IPC on murder. So we have got different clauses which has been retained in BNS. Okay, we have taken it from IPC. Okay, and sexual offences against women, offences against property, offences against state, and offences against public. And few of this has been retained from IPC, and few of which has been removed from IPC. Okay. Now we'll see the classes and important chapters. We have got 20 chapters. In this 20 chapters, we'll have different clauses and different subtopics in it. The first chapter is initially from 1 to 3 subsections and the clauses 1 to 3. We have preliminary, where we have the introduction of all those laws. The basic introduction has been given. And in chapter 2, where clauses 4 to 13, we have got punishments. Okay, in chapter 2, we have got clauses 4 to 13 punishments. So, in this particular classification of the chapter, in punishments, we'll have the provisions for death, imprisonment for life, imprisonment of where we'll have to give rigorous with hard labor punishment and simple punishment, forfeiture of property, fines, and community service, and all those things has been included in this particular chapter. And next one is Chapter 3, where we have classes 14 to 44, we have the general exemptions. Okay, general exemptions, that is from 14 to 33 is of general exemptions, and in which we have another subtopic of right to private defense, where the sections will be involved from 34 to 44. Next is chapter 4, we have clauses 45 to 62, and again this 45 to 62 will be subdivided into different subtopics. So in the general chapter name is of abandonment, criminal conspiracy, and attempt. So for of abandonment, we have sections 45 to 60. Of criminal conspiracy, we have section 61, and of attempt, it is section 62. Of offences against women and children, the subtopics include of sexual offence. If it is of sexual offence, the sections are from 63 to 73. Of criminal force and assault against women, 74 to 79. Of offences relating to marriage, it is 80 to 87. Of causing miscarriage, etc., 88 to 99. Next one is chapter 6, where we have clauses 100 to 144. These are all offences affecting the human body. Of offences affecting life, it is section 100 to 113. Of hurt, it is 114 to 125. Of wrongful restraint and wrongful confinement, it is 126 to 136. And next subsection is of kidnapping, abduction, slavery and forced labor is 137 to 146. Next one is chapter 7. In chapter 7, we have clauses 147 to 158 of offences against the state. So, of offences against the state, and what are the subtopics which will be included is like waging or attempting to wage war, or like abetting waging of war against the government of India. So, all these offences against the state will be included in this particular clauses. Next one is chapter 8, clauses 159 to 168 of offences relating to Army, Navy and Air Force. And here we'll have the subsections like from in 159 we'll have abetting mutiny, attempting to seduce a soldier, sailor or an airman from his duty, abetment of mutiny if mutiny is committed in consequence thereof, and abetment of assault by a soldier, sailor or airman or on a superior officer where in execution of his office, and all those abduction which is related to Army, Navy and Air Force will be included in this particular clause. And clause number 9, clauses from 169 to 177, where we have the offences relating to elections, where the candidate electoral right defend and bribery and influence of elections and personation at election, punishment for bribery and punishment for undue influence and personation in an election, false statements, all those things which are related to the elections will be included in this particular clause. And chapter 10 is related with clauses 178 to 188, where we have offences relating to coins, banknotes, currency notes and government stamps. Here, counterfeiting coins, government stamps and currency notes or bank notes, all those crimes will be coded here. And using a genuine or forged counterfeit coin, and possession of forged or counterfeit coins and government stamps and currency notes, all those criminal offences will be included in this particular clause. And chapters 11, on chapter 11 we have clauses 189 to 197. These are all offences against the tranquility, where we have the 189 unlawful assembly, and 190 we have every member of unlawful assembly guilty of offence and committed in prosecution of the common object. Okay, and 191 we have writing. In chapter 12 we have clauses 198 to 205. In 198 this topic will come under of offences or by related to any public servant. Public servants disobeying law which intend to cause injure or any person. So any public personnel, any public servant who tries to disobey the direction under law, and unlawful engagement in trade, unlawful buying and bidding of property, personating a public servant, and all those things will come under this particular clauses. In chapter 13 we have clauses 206 to 226 of attempt of unlawful authority of public servants. So here we'll have absconding to avoid the service of summons or other proceedings, preventing of service of summons and other proceedings, or preventing publication thereof, and all those clauses will be included. In chapter 14, clauses 227 to 269 of false evidence and offences against public justice, giving false evidence, fabrication false evidence, punishment for false evidence, and all those false evidence crimes will be included in this. In chapter 15, we have clauses 270 to 297, where the offences affecting the public health, safety, convenience, decency and morals will be included. In chapter 16, we have clauses 298 to 302 of offences of anything which is related to the religion. Here we have injuring or defying place of worship which intend to insult any religion of any class, and deliberate and malicious act which intend to outrage the religious feelings which may cause riots, and disturbing religious assembly, trespassing on burial places, uttering words which deliberately intend to wound the religious feeling of any person will all come under this particular chapter 16. Now, chapter 17, we have clauses 303 to 334, and which we have different subsections of offences against property. For theft, it is 303 to 307. This is all against the property, offences against the property. Extortion 308, robbery and dacoity 309 to 313, criminal misappropriation of the property 314 and 315, of criminal breach of trust 316, of receiving of stolen property 317, of cheating 318 and 319, of fundamental deeds and disposition of property 320 to 23, and of mischief it is 324 to 328, of criminal trespass it is 329 to 334. 18, we have clauses 335 to 350 where we have the offences related to documents and property marks. Of documents it is 335 to 334, of property marks it is 345 to 350. In chapter 19, we have clauses 351 to 57. So it is all about the criminal intimidation, insult, annoyance, defamation, extra. Intimidation is insult and annoyance. It is 351 to 355. Defamation 356. Of breach of contract to attend and on and supply the want of the helpless person 357. And chapter 20, clauses 358 alone will come, repeal and savings. And with this, we have come to the end of this video. And individual chapters and clauses will be discussed in separate videos. Thank you.